start finish line now. There he is. No, he hasn't. Alonso rejoins in the lead. Schumacher is second.
You have Michael Schumacher in your mirror, so there is no way to relax.
Nobody is in their seats here at Imola. Absolutely thrilled by this battle.
I was not calm. That's the first thing. I was very tense on that moment.
Racing for the win here at San Marino.
Fernando, we're going to rewind 16 years to that very famous race in 2005. What do you remember of the weekend coming into it?
Not much. Not much. I think I do remember more things from all the the images and all the things that I saw after the race than my own experience before the race or that day. Probably the biggest thing I remember is on Saturday we found out a problem on the engine on one cylinder, and there were a lot of discussions that Saturday night about changing the engine and losing 10 places on the grid, or depower a little bit the engine and race on Sunday and take whatever points were available. So that's the thing that I think stand out on that 2005 weekend.
So you went into the race pretty uncertain that you'd have the pace, I guess, to really mount the fight for the win.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the only thing I do remember quite clearly, that even on the strategy meeting on Sunday morning, our aim was to be in the top 5, top 6, and really take care of that engine. We have different settings on the steering wheel and try to take care of that cylinder as much as we could.
Let's race! Oh, yellow flags at the back. Good start by Raikkonen. Button tucks in behind Alonso.
It didn't look like it was going to be all that easy for you. The McLarens were rapid fast, as were the BARs.
Yes, definitely. I think the McLarens were clearly faster than everyone else from Friday. But that car was, I think, not only this race, the whole season has been very fast, but not so strong. And the reliability was the weakness for sure of that McLaren.
And it looks to me as though Kimi Raikkonen's got a problem, but that's Fernando Alonso who's just gone past him. This is the big headline news. Kimi Raikkonen is in trouble after just 8 laps this Grand Prix.
You were dominating, you were well out in front. How easy could you take it, given that you had your concerns over the engine, or were you really having to crank it the whole way through?
I think by that point, when Kimi had the problem, I think we changed even to a more conservative settings on that engine to take care of the car. And by surprise, we started realizing that Michael was coming very fast.
And this is it, 8 laps later than your pit stop, in he comes. These pit stops seem to take forever now with the refueling. And then the fight was on. He's got low fuel, fresher tyres, fight to the finish between the two of you. What do you remember about him coming out just behind you and the pressure he was putting on you?
I do remember that we put whatever power was available at that point because we were very surprised and very scared of the pace of that moment in Michael. Honestly, and I do remember to speak with the team after the race and to my family, saying that I was quite confident that it was not possible to get overtaken by Michael here in Imola. I think any other circuit, it was not possible to hold that position. But Imola, at that time in Formula One, without DRS, without many things going on, with a straight much shorter than what it is now, because we had this final corner, I think I was pretty sure that it was okay to keep the first position. But I know that watching from the outside, it looks much closer. And even myself, when I watch the TV footage, it looks much closer than what you see on the mirror. When you see on the mirror, the cars are quite far behind. But when I looked at the TV, I said he was very close.
2 laps to go here for a real grandstand finish at Imola. And this time he's nicely tucked up. Can he have a go this time? No, once again the traction of the Renault is enough to keep Alonso in front.
You had to make your car so wide on so many opportunities. As you say, it's not the easiest track to overtake, but I mean, Michael was giving it everything that he could to get by you.
Yeah, he was, and I do remember also these last 3 or 4 laps, we had a couple of people in front of us. So the blue flags were out, and I thought that was maybe a chance for Michael if I was too close to the car in front and losing some downforce. So I was backing off in some of the corners that I knew that he could not pass me, like the last two, and tried to open the space again with the guys in front. So we kept those 2 seconds with Webber, and I think he was in front of us.
Fascinating. So you didn't get as far as the traffic ahead of you, deliberately slowing him down through the final few corners.
Yeah, and I think that was only possible in Imola. That's why I think that any of the circuits we didn't have the pace for the win.
You're about to start the last lap with Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher absolutely glued together on the racetrack.
When you're leading a Grand Prix like this and you have Michael behind you, a 7-time world champion, how do you stay calm? How do you keep that sense of mind to be able to slow down through those corners, to have that presence of mind?
I don't know. I was not calm. That's the first thing. I was very tense on that moment, and you have Michael Schumacher in your mirror, so there is no way to relax. But I don't know. You are so focused on the race. You prepare the weekend in such a way of professionalism, and thanks to the team that is giving you all the instructions and all the things to perform and to execute the race as close to perfection as possible, that then when you are there you are able to focus on those little things and those little thoughts. Looking at this, I think you leave things much more emotionally outside the car than inside the car, that it's more a robot job. You need to do whatever you have been told to do in that moment.
Will Michael have a go into the final corner? He's too far behind.
He's not going to. He locks the brake down. Amazing defensive driving by Fernando Alonso. His hand is out of the cockpit. Across the line they go. One of the closest finishes I can remember for many, many years. What a thrilling end to the Grand Prix. In the end, Schumacher didn't have a lunge.
It was important as a race win. Yes, it was important for your world championship, but for a lot of people, even though you were already a Grand Prix winner at this time, this was the moment for a lot of them that you properly arrived in their conscious, being able to hold off arguably one of the greatest of all time and already a 7-time world champion at this point. It was the day that you really arrived for a lot of Formula One fans.
Yeah, but those things you only realize later in the years or later in the weeks. For us, for me, it was just a normal race. I remember in the podium, my biggest thing was that on the grandstand on that day, one of my best friends got married the weekend before the race, and their wedding trip was coming here to Imola, and they were in the grandstand in front of the podium. So on the podium, I was pointing at them because it was like my gift to them after the marriage. And just to give you an example, that you don't realize what are you achieving on the present moment. You only realize with time that was an iconic race for my career, that one. You only realize with the years.
And not just for your career, an iconic race in the history of Formula One. It's something which people still look back on now and will forever as one of the great battles of all time.
It is, but I think it's a combination of having Michael, the legend on that time, after the titles. And in 2005, he was struggling in the first races with the Bridgestone tire. And Imola was the very first race that he was able to fight for the victory. So that was, okay, now we have a championship because the champion is back. The championship will fight for wins. And you mix all these ingredients and you have these great moments.